Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's having a positive, peaceful, productive start to your day. Although it's a little early to be talking about being productive, but that being said, it's been a productive morning for me so far. I woke up at stupid o'clock this morning. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting my coffee going, my mushroom coffee. And before we get started, I wanted to look at the calendar. This is a farmer's calendar. So it includes the moon phases. Today is Saturday, January 3rd. We are in Cancer. The sun will rise at 7:13 a.m. Tomorrow, Sunday, it says a barren time, best for killing weeds, briars, poison ivy, and other plant pests. Clear woodlots. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yesterday, I took the dogs for a ride and we went for a walk as well. And I noticed that there were a lot of the farmers burning yesterday. So I wonder if that has anything to do with that. I harvested some usnea yesterday on our walk, also known as old man's beard. And yesterday when I collected it, because I had the dogs with me, I just picked up all the sticks. And this morning, that was one of the things that I did after I'd been up for a while, is I removed all of it from the sticks. And I had some from last year that I collected about this same time, actually. So I put it in a jar with a little bit of what I got yesterday and started me salve. To make a salve out of it, you have to make the oil first, and then you use the oil to make the salve. So I started a jar. Let me go get it and I'll show you what it looks like. I added a few other things to it. This is what it looks like. I put a little bit of Queen Anne's lace and mugwort on the top to kind of pack it in. I didn't fill the oil all the way up to the top because I'm trying to allow it a little bit of room to expand. But I may end up adding some more oil to the top to top it off after it expands a little bit. Because usually the greenery will expand some as it starts absorbing the oil. So we'll see how that turns out. I got to order me some beeswax pellets. Or really just beeswax in general. I think I'm going to look into getting like blocks of it instead of the little pellets. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Saturday. It's still early, but I've been up for several hours already. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Start out with our morning mantra, and then we'll get our affirmations, and we'll just go from there. I think it rained overnight here, locally. We're finally starting to balance out temperature-wise in the area, I think. There for a while, it was crazy, changing all the time. But that's typical Tennessee weather, really. Tennessee is known for being able to have all 4 seasons in 1 week. All right, we actually got 2 mantras today. The one on top, I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. I cannot change which way the river bends, so I might as well strap in and enjoy this strange little boat ride. Did anyone bring a cooler? So starting your day off with bravery, with confidence, being able to just go with the flow. I mean, it is Saturday. I do, I'm not used to having the weekend off, but I do have the weekend off this week. So, I will definitely be making the best of it and putting on a brave face no matter what the day brings. And I hope everybody else can do the same as well. All right, now we'll get a grief affirmation. Maybe do something you haven't gotten to do in a while. That's what we did yesterday. The dogs have not been able to go for a ride. It's been like a year and a half. So they were definitely due for it. And we went to a place that they had been before, so they were comfortable there. But I tell you what, it gets me just as much of a workout as it does them. Copper drags me around like he's a horse. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. It's also, you can look at it from a perspective of nothing lost, nothing gained. If you've never had something, then you don't have to worry about losing it. But at the same time, you live your whole life without it, whatever it is. In this situation, in the affirmation, it's talking about love. So if you've never experienced true love, then you don't know what it's like to lose it. So are you willing to love despite the fear of losing it? Because in reality, we lose everything. Material things, people, thought patterns, ways of life. Death and rebirth is a constant throughout life in so many different ways. But will the fear of losing it stop you from having it? Don't let that happen. Don't shut your heart off. Don't turn off your hopes and your dreams. Even though things may not be going the way you expected or even the way that you want. Stay loving. Keep the attitude of gratitude and just keep pushing. All right, let's get a chakra wisdom affirmation. The one that landed on the desk is solar plexus, but a couple fell on the floor. Inner knowing, sixth chakra, third eye. Truthfulness, throat chakra, fifth chakra. But the one that landed on the table is third chakra, solar plexus, oneness and unity. Inner knowing and truthfulness. We just want one. Second chakra, sacral chakra, sexuality. I honor and respect my sexuality, and I allow the natural flow of my feelings. I acknowledge that my sexual thoughts and feelings will arise, and I release unnecessary guilt regarding sex. I am open to the positive, sensual feelings coming to me from others. At the same time, I keep my sexual activities well directed and in balance. Abstinence is the best policy, really, unless you're truly committed and you know that person, and you take the right steps to get to that point. But keeping your sex life in check, basically. Don't be ashamed of those feelings, but at the same time, acknowledge that you don't necessarily have to act on those feelings. Temptation. There's a difference between temptation and reaction. Like, there's a difference between being tempted and then actually doing whatever you're tempted to do. All right, Wild Offering Oracle. I actually picked up a new deck yesterday, and I'm not real sure about it. So, I definitely was not looking for it. I went to, after me and the dogs took our little adventure yesterday, I ended up going to the bin picking place in town. It was $5 day. I don't normally go on that day. I usually go on dollar day. But anyways, ambition, companionship, doubt, clarity, self-sufficiency, and service. That's way too many to keep, but I wanted to acknowledge them. So yeah, I went there, and like I said, I don't normally go on $5 days, so there was a nice variety, which I'm not used to. All right, true love. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. But this sovereignty actually leads you to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear divine, and know true love. And that was backed by empowerment. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear divine. True love, self-love, feeling empowered, empowering yourself, feeling empowered within your sexuality. Being brave, having confidence. We did see confidence. I think it was from this deck a while back. Really being brave enough to express your sexuality, being brave enough to truly love yourself, not caring what other people think. Okay, so let's look at it for a second. This is the new deck. It says Love Oracle. Attract and create the love you want. Romance, love, and staying together forever. Love, attract and create the love you want. Okay, so it says the same thing. Very interesting that this is the. Okay, so I was at the bin picking place, right? I got a couple good bargains. I found a new harness for Darlin. I got a really nice canvas bag. Nonetheless, very interesting that this is the deck that came to me yesterday while I was there. I have never seen anything like this at that bin picking place. And something else that I saw, there were actually multiples. You know those crystal displays where it's like a crystal and it has an engraving on the inside of it, and you put it on a stand and the stand lights up and it puts the light through the crystal. It was one of those, a nice one, really, really big, but it was for Libra, and there were three of them that I saw. So that could be significant. Libra energy, justice energy. That could very much line up with the empowerment affirmation. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the table. This camera is not nearly as stable, or the holder is not nearly as stable as I would have liked it to have been. But anyways, so we're going to open this up and check it out. On the back of the box, it says, "Today I will stand in front of the window, holding my empty heart in a daze, and exchange my fervent vows for real possession. Perhaps just a hug, a kiss, a smile, a concern, and a warning. Although plain, it is sweet as honey, love and lingering, love intoxicated, colorful and colorful." Han Yu Bowen is the manufacturer. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked up the deck yet, like usually. But see, usually I get my decks online. It's been a long time since I've come across a deck like that. So, anyways, we're going to shuffle it. We're going to pull a few cards from it and just see what it says. But I think it's very interesting that sexuality came out, true love came out, and I picked up a love deck yesterday, which I've never had a love deck. So, here we go. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. And you know, I may go back. They had a couple boxes of fake long stem roses, and I almost got one and I didn't. So I may end up making my way back down there today. We'll see. All right. Here we go. I guess maybe we'll take 3 and just see what it gives us. You got Beyonce, Destiny's Child, whichever one this is on the radio. That's way too many. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what we got. My love for you is unconditional. From time to time, we will have a happy ending. If you and me both empathize and love for our true selves. Wish you could put yourself in my shoes to understand how I feel. Must be an adrenaline rush because you set my heart on fire. I'm choosing myself. We're not over yet. There's still something between us. So take for that what you will. I'm choosing myself. Like, I get a vibe like I'm choosing to do what I want to do. Despite what other people say, despite what other people think, I'm going to go where my heart tells me to go. My love for you is unconditional. From time to time, we will have a happy ending if you and me both empathize and love for our true selves. So, like, if you both follow your heart, if you both look at things from the other person's perspective, the unconditional love for yourselves will allow you to love each other. Wish you could put yourself in my shoes to understand how I feel. So, looking at things from the other person's perspective must be an adrenaline rush because you set my heart on fire. I'm choosing myself. We're not over yet. There's still something between us. Anyways, something from the past is coming back. I mean, you can't, yeah. Or maybe we haven't finished our journey yet in the past life, and now we're here together again. That's what's on the bottom of the deck. I just need some time to give more in our relationship. I would take back all those hurtful words I said to you. Ooh. If I could turn back time. That's Cher. If I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you and you'd stay. Okay, the top of the deck. Sorry for breaking your trust. I miss the old you. I miss us. Is that my negativity keeping me away from you? All right, so take what you will from that. I was really questioning even bringing this deck out just because I've never used a love deck before. But when that came out, that's not a coincidence. Okay, so there's a little bit of love in the story. Intermission. So take from that what you will. I should have kept those cards out. Hold on. Did I put on the top or the bottom? The bottom. Your eyes, your smile, can't get them out of my head. Okay, anyways, but these are the ones that we actually read. Is that my negativity keeping me away from you? So going back to the self-love and being brave and, just going with the flow. Going into this new season lighter. The last video we talked about laying down our burdens. All right. Angels of Abundance. Last time we got Bountiful Nature. Let go of guilt. We did see that last time. Let's say our prayer real quick this morning. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Ashe. I also pray that he clothes us in his armor from head to toe, that he strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. All right. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. If you woke up with in just a sourpuss kind of mood, I hope that there's something that you hear in this message that helps that for you. Look at that. Let go of guilt. It came right back out. And partnership. Wow. You got cooperation instead of competition on the bottom of the deck, and focus on your priorities on the top of the deck. Let go of guilt and partnership. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of beating yourself for them. Loving yourself enough to let go and lay down the burden of guilt. Partnership. Allow beautiful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. And we saw the cooperation instead of competition. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. No matter what it is that you're working on. Whether it's a romantic partnership, a career partnership, even something like getting a new pet, a new companion. Okay, let's pull from Namaste. I think I got 2 from this one last time, and we usually don't take 2. Go on a cinematic adventure and touch your toes. Stretching it out. This is the Namaste Stress Less deck. I've tried to get in the habit of saying it in every video. All my decks you can find on Amazon. That's where I got them. There's only a few of my smaller decks that I did not get from Amazon. But the majority of them, that's where I got them. So that's where you can get them. Well, and now the Love Oracle. But I'm sure if you looked, you could probably find it on Amazon as well. That's probably where it came from. Those bin picking places, that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. Is Amazon and Temu and different online stores like that. But I can honestly say that is the first time I have seen an oracle deck or tarot deck of any kind at a bin picking place. Pay attention to your posture. That's crazy that came out, because I was just thinking I'm sitting in a really weird way. Let me change my position. Pay attention to your posture. Do you slouch at the computer or at the dinner table after a long day, or sitting on the couch watching your favorite show? These are the perfect opportunities to practice your posture. Pay attention to your posture and make a consecrated effort to straighten up. Lift your chest, relax your shoulders, and lift your head slightly. Good posture improves oxygen flow through your body and strengthens your core, leaving you feeling revitalized and increasing your sense of power. Wow, very much lining up with the empowerment. This improved sense of well being and strength will help reduce stress and tension. All right, now we'll pull an affirmation from the Affirmators deck, our unicorn deck. Self-help without all the self-helpiness. Last time we got patience and letting go. There it is. Laying down those bags, laying down that baggage, laying down the burdens, letting go of the guilt. No, it's not easy, but yes, it is worth it. You know, and in reality, it's not like it happens all at once. You know, we all struggle with guilt and regret from multiple different scenarios and situations in our lives. So we almost have to heal them as they happened. You know, it doesn't happen all at once. Some things are easy to heal from, other things, not so much. Especially if other people were affected. All right. Remembering that you deserve love despite whatever you've been through, you know, bad decisions that you've made. You know, there's always a chance for recovery, for healing, for you to turn things around. It just takes that first little step. Playfulness. I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins puts sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. I really like that card. Putting sugar always makes things a little bit sweeter, a little easier to swallow. It's making me think of that quote, the bitter and the sweet. If you've never had the bitter, you won't appreciate the sweet. That goes back to what I was talking about at the very beginning of the video. Having the attitude of gratitude. Like, yeah, I've been through some stuff, but I don't look like what I've been through. My life doesn't look like what I've been through. Bring that playful energy into everyday tasks. Like in the movie, when she's talking about a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, they're having to take medicine and it's yucky. They don't want to take it, you know? But also, she does it when they're cleaning their room. She makes it into a game. So making everyday activities fun, finding the joy in them, finding the things to be grateful for. You know, I saw a video popped up on my feed the other day where the guy was talking about, you know, don't say I have to take out the trash. Say I can't or I'm able to take out the trash. You know, there's people that are paralyzed in wheelchairs, you know, that would love to be able to walk and take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that, man. There's so many things every second of every day that we should and could be grateful for and more just acknowledging of. The list is endless. All right, now we'll pull a mindfulness card. Being mindful of all those little blessings that you tend to forget. We get so caught up in the hustle and bustle and the competition of life that we forget to actually enjoy our lives and to embrace the gift that it truly is. Like yesterday, dude, it was so weird. I don't even know why the thought popped into my head, but I was having my nightly ice cream fix, right? And suddenly it popped into my head like, when you're not here anymore, when you're not in this physical vessel anymore, like what's the thing that you're gonna miss the most? What's the food that you're gonna miss the most? Ice cream runs a good race on that one, but there's so many others. Like, I'm such a food lover, I don't know if I could pick just one. All right, even if you were to stop worrying for a moment and decide to just trust, the world will not fall apart. Everything will be okay. So there's that going with the flow energy again from our mantra. I can't change which way the river bends, so I might as well strap in and enjoy this strange little boat ride. Yeah. Be a duck. Let the criticism, let the negativity roll off your back. Where did we see that before? Is that my negativity keeping me away from you? Is it things from the past that you're trying to carry into your future that's keeping you or them, would vice versa, whatever, somebody away? Man, that's always a possibility. All right, now we'll pull from the Unstoppable You Oracle. Last time. Trust the process. Be louder than the doubt, and the risk is worth the reward. I don't know why when I looked at this trust the process, like two sheets to the wind. See how the wind is kind of like blowing the leaves around in the background? The winds of change. What movie is that? Pocahontas, where the colors of the wind. Spending time in nature. We did get that energy last time, and really that's something that's important to do all the time. Like, anytime you get an opportunity, even if it's just going for a walk, like, it doesn't have to be like a whole day trip kind of thing, although those are great too. Getting outside, breathing the fresh air, noticing the different wildlife that's around. I feel bad for people that live in areas that don't have that. I am definitely not a city girl. Even the places like that I want to visit and travel to are not cities. They're remote areas. Whoa. Take the leap. Small wins matter. Protect your vision. Be the storm. Let it be messy. We don't want that many. There we go. Done is better than perfect. Rest then rise. We got nothing changes if you wait on the bottom of the deck. It's a picture of a chessboard. Life is like a game of chess. You know, it's important to not be impulsive, but it's easy to get stuck. Let it be messy there on the top of the deck. We already saw that once. Fail forward. Yeah, if you're trying, that's all that matters. Done is better than perfect. Rest than rise. Done is better than perfect is on page 33, master number 33. Imperfect action still builds momentum. Progress over perfection. Can you see those even if I'm not holding them? Yeah. Progress over perfection. Action taking, letting go of self-pressure, momentum, courageous creation, and release of control. Message. Waiting until it's perfect, you'll be waiting forever. That makes sense. You know, when people talk about having a kid and, you know, the elders always tell them you're never ready because people always want to say, you know, we're not ready yet. We want to wait until we're ready. You're never ready. But that's life in general, not just children. Perfection is a moving target, one that often keeps you stuck instead of inspired. But momentum, that's created through doing, through showing up, hitting publish, taking the step, and learning as you go. This card is your gentle shove forward. Stop editing yourself out of your own life. What you have is already enough to begin. You don't need the flawless plan or the perfect conditions. You need movement. Your dream doesn't need polish. It needs you, flaws and all. You know that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it? Usually when they're talking about that, they're talking about muscle. But, you know, there are all kinds of muscles that it takes to get it through this life, and be that mental muscles, spiritual muscles, emotional muscles, physical muscles. You know, if we don't keep those muscles strong, we're gonna end up struggling. Guidance. You may be caught in overthinking, stuck in preparation mode, or letting fear of judgment slow you down. What did I say earlier about worrying about what other people think? Yeah. But action, even messy, clumsy, unrefined action, is how clarity and confidence are born. Growth doesn't come from over planning, it comes from doing. Perfectionism is often just fear wearing a fancy outfit. Strip it away. What if good enough is more than enough right now? Journaling prompts. Where in my life am I delaying action because I'm afraid it won't be perfect? What belief am I holding about failure? And is it helping or hurting me? What could shift if I valued momentum more than mastery? Wow. You don't even have to take that to a journal entry. You could just really just sit and ponder about it for a minute. But sometimes it takes more than a minute. You know, sometimes when it comes to stuff like that, you know, we really have to break through the layers of our ego before we get a true, honest answer from ourselves. All right, activation practice. The 10-minute launch. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Pick the project or idea you've been sitting on. In that short time, take one small but real action. Write the intro, send the pitch, draft the outline, record the voice memo. Let speed disrupt the spiral. Let motion build the momentum. I saw the sign Ace of Base just started. Here's your sign. All right, affirmation. I release the need to be perfect. My action is enough. I am already building something beautiful. And then action step. Pick one thing today to finish imperfectly. Post it, share it, submit it. Let it be real instead of ideal. The world doesn't need perfect you. In your power and progress, you are more than enough. Once again, talking about personal power, taking your power back. You know, if you're a very empathetic person, or just a very kind hearted person, a lot of times we end up giving our energy and power away to other people when we don't even realize it. And so sometimes we just have to check ourselves and reel it back in. Rest, then rise. The done is better than perfect. We've seen that recently, which, of course, this is one of the newer decks, but we have seen that already. Rest, then rise is on page 30, which is basically right next door to the one we just read. Pause if you need to, but don't quit. Key themes: rest as resilience, burnout recovery, honoring your energy, emotional renewal, sacred pause, and inner restoration. So they're taking your power back, giving the love that you give to everybody else, starting to give it to yourself. Understanding that love and intimacy doesn't necessarily equal sexual stuff. That there can be love and intimacy and partnership and empowerment and trust and support and encouragement and teamwork without it being sexual. That is a message that is not said enough in the world today. Message: you're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to pause. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means you're wise enough to tend to your fire before it burns out. Rest is not a weakness. It's a strategy, a sacred reset. You're doing brave work by growing, healing, creating, and becoming. That kind of transformation takes energy. It's okay if your body or spirit is asking for stillness. Listen, let yourself be refilled, not because you're fragile, but because you're powerful and worthy of care. This card isn't telling you to stop. It's telling you to breathe, to step back, to gather strength. Then when you're ready, rise again. Kind of going back to what we talked about a few videos back about this is not the time to take action. In winter time, this is a time to rest, to heal, to recover, to prepare for what's to come. Guidance: you may be feeling stretched thin, emotionally fatigued, or unmotivated. Instead of pushing harder, this is a moment to pull inward. There's wisdom in the pause. Remember, I talk about it all the time, practicing the pause, even if it's just 5 minutes. Trust that you're not losing momentum by resting. You're creating space for clarity, alignment, and inspired action. Give yourself what you need without guilt. We already saw let go of guilt. The comeback is always stronger when it's rooted in renewal, not exhaustion. Journaling prompts: what part of me is asking for rest and how can I honor it? What story do I carry about productivity and my worth? How can I rise with more intention after this pause? Self-nourishment practice, the permission slip. Write yourself a permission slip. I give myself full permission to rest without shame or fear. Place your hand on your heart and read it aloud. Then choose one restorative act: a nap, silence, a walk, saying no. Trust the rest is an act of devotion to your dream. Affirmation: my rest is sacred. I honor my energy. I rise when I'm ready with power and purpose. Action step: cancel or reschedule something non essential today. Replace it with an act of nourishment, physical, emotional, or spiritual. Rest isn't retreat, it's preparation. Your rise is coming. Let it be strong. And literally, the next card is done is better than perfect. So those are side by side in the book, and that's how they came out, which is pretty cool. Once again, emphasizing the balance between work and play. We got the playfulness energy with the Mary Poppins with our affirmators deck. You know, if you think of it as a recipe, and you got bitter ingredients and you got sweet ingredients. Well, if you put too much of the sweet, then it's going to be too sweet. If you put too much of the bitter, it's going to be too bitter. It's about getting that balance. Being able to find the sweet within the bitter. Yeah, it may suck that you have to spend your day off cleaning your apartment, but at least you have an apartment to clean. You know, yeah, you might have to do a little extra cleaning because you have fur babies that live in that apartment too. But that's the price of having the fur babies. You know, in return, you get their love and attention and company and protection and, you know, but really, I mean, that's just an example for obviously from my own life, but, you know, being grateful for the things that you wouldn't typically think of it as something to be grateful for. Like, yeah, I have to do laundry today, but hey, at least I have clothes to wear and wash. Yeah, I have to wash them because because I wear them. And I'm thankful that I have clothes to wear, you know? So many little things. And especially going back to what I said at the very beginning of the video, going back to the whole bitter and sweet. If you've never been in a position to where you've had to go without something, you're not going to appreciate how valuable it is when you do have it. Like, you know, have you ever gotten a leg injury or a knee injury or a foot injury to where you've been down for a while, you haven't been able to walk, and how great it feels when you can finally walk again? Not everybody gets that. You know, some people suffer injuries where they literally never walk again. And even if a machine makes them walk, they can't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Be thankful that you can feel pain. It's crazy to think about it that way, but in reality, that's looking at things from multiple perspectives. All right. Moving on to our angel numbers. Last time we got Reflect and Strength, 000, and 2020. We got 233 Positivity on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started, and Comfort Zones poking out there, 3737. 7722 on the cut. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And also, try to be the type of person that is loving and open enough to where people aren't afraid to come to you and ask for help. One more. That's way too many. 44, 85, 85, take a risk, gratitude. 66, don't worry. 0, new beginnings. And 404, mind energy. We are not reading all of those. I just wanted to acknowledge them. Because a lot of times when that happens, it goes right along with what we're talking about. And it does this time as well. Take a risk, gratitude, don't worry, new beginnings, and mind energy. $22.22, stick to it. 818, breaking old patterns, and 1155, self-reflection. Wow. 44, take a risk. Wow. And 938, keep going. 99, rebirth on the bottom of the deck. 9, take action. Take a risk, take action. Keep going. Done is better than perfect. Take a risk, courage, innovative, creativity, planning, realism, and boldness. Now is a good time to take action on tasks that require initiative, creativity, and risk. Get organized and make plans with realistic expectations of success, rather than waiting for things to change on their own. What specific risk can I take right now that aligns with my goals and creativity? Identify one area where you can take a calculated risk and make a concrete plan to move forward with confidence and realistic expectations. And then 938, keep going. Perseverance, strength, guidance, resilience, success, and endurance. The angels are proud of your resilience and efforts. They are sending you strength and guiding you through challenges towards success and prosperity. In what areas of my life do I need to keep pushing forward? How can I remind myself of my progress and stay motivated? Celebrate your small victories and progress. Take one step at a time towards your goals and remind yourself that you are supported and capable of overcoming obstacles. Listen to what just came on the radio. Calm down. Take a rest. Rest, then rise. And if I remember correctly, and this is a very playful video. Like, the energy of this song is very playful. Even, like, the instrumental in the background. Like, I can see kids playing on the playground. I don't know if that's this actual video or not, but it has a very playful beat to it. All right, now we'll pull from the Celestial Insights. Last time we got Allure, Cherish, Freedom, and Reflection. We got accept on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Celestial Insights. And you know, at the back at the beginning of the video, going to this keep going energy, the 938, I talked about, you know, maybe you're the death and rebirth energy, you know, maybe you've just experienced some major, and when you say death, that doesn't always mean a literal physical death, but something ending. Sometimes during those phases, it can be hard to keep going because you can't see what's on the other side of it. So, no matter where you're at on this journey, keep going. All right, we got renewal and inspiration. Yes. Seek inspiration to assist with your renewal. There are endless opportunities to find inspiration in this world. You just have to actually look for it sometimes. Find that light. What did I say? You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel? Look at that. There's your light. Looking at this renewal, that plant right there, it's making me think of the WALL-E movie. When he finds the plant in the refrigerator, and he puts it in the boot and he takes it to Eva and shows her. Inspiration is sparking within you, lighting the way forward. Have you felt stuck lately? Reconnect with what excites you. It will reignite your creativity and motivation. Renewal. You are entering a phase of renewal and refresh energy. Have you been feeling worn out? It's time to refresh yourself. Whether by resting or changing your environment, new energy is on the way. Look at that. Rest and rise. Done is better than perfect. That energy is completely aligning right now. That's insane. Renewal and inspiration. Rest and renewal. Rest and rejuvenate. And a lot of times in that time of resting and renewal is when you get that spark of inspiration. Within the stillness, within the quiet, that's when you get those new ideas, that clarity. All right, now we're going to pull from the dream deck. Last time we got chasing and desert. We got runes on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Snake on the cut. All right. Sword, choose, escape, and alter. What? Okay. Obviously, okay, so just by the imagery alone, Somebody's trying to escape what they've done. A sword of truth is coming in. Somebody is going to have to walk in your shoes. They're not going to be able to escape the altar work that they've done. Okay, now on a different level, sword represents power, decisions, and resolving conflicts. Dreaming of a sword suggests you're facing an important choice. It urges quick action, cutting away what no longer serves you and confronting inner struggles for growth. The sword offers protection, motivation, and the courage to set boundaries and move confidently forward. We talked about confidence earlier. The sword of power, the sword of truth, strength. Within self, that empowerment energy that we got at the very beginning. Shoes represent the path you're walking in life. Dreaming of shoes suggests progress in your personal journey, with the type of shoes indicating the direction and pace. Damaged shoes may signify fatigue or uncertainty about your path. The dream encourages you to align your choices with your true desires and goals. So, making sure that your choices match your goals. Being honest with yourself, tapping into that inner truth, finding that motivation to maybe make some hard choices about where you're at in life, where you want to go in life, how you're going to get there. Making a plan. That has been very strong in the energy lately. Making a plan. Right now is the time to do that. It's not time to take action. Rest. Get your together. And be ready for spring when it hits. With that renewal energy. Don't forget to have a little fun in the process. Be brave. Be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. We did see comfort zones. All right, escape. Escape symbolizes the desire for freedom from a troubling situation. Dreaming of escaping suggests you're seeking to break free from limitations or emotional constraints. It's not always about running away, but about your soul's yearning for true freedom. The dream urges you to confront what you are avoiding and seek the release that will help you grow and move forward. Once again, that letting go, that release energy. Hold on, I gotta get my slippers. My feet are getting cold. You know, that came up in one of the past videos too, about, you know, you can't run from yourself. The stuff that you're dealing with spiritually, emotionally, you can't run from that. That's stuff that, I mean, yeah, you can numb it out, you can distract yourself from it, but when it's all said and done, it's still going to be there waiting on you, you know, to look at it and to deal with it, to let it go. Which, like I said, you know, it's easier said than done in most cases, but, you know, you have the power. Be brave. Push through those moments where you want to try to run away, you want to try to escape. Practice the pause. Stay focused. You know, retreat for a little while if you have to. Rest. And then come back full throttle. you know? All right, altar. Altar symbolizes devotion, ritual, and the sacred connection with the divine. Dreaming of an altar suggests you're in a phase of spiritual dedication, focusing on growth, meditation, or higher practices. It reminds you to honor your spiritual practices and connect deeply with the divine, inviting gratitude, sacrifice, and devotion to strengthen your soul's purpose. So self-care, self-love, time for self, that comes up often. And for a lot of people, that is hard to achieve. But that in itself is a sign that you need to slow down. If you can't even schedule or plan some me time, some self time, then that's a problem. That means you've got too much stuff going on and something needs to go. Probably more than one thing. That's too much. And eventually you will burn out. And going back to what we talked about before, you don't really appreciate what you've got until it's gone. And I tell you what, there are some people when they like truly burn out, they end up being bedridden for weeks because it takes their body that long to recover. Either, and it's usually a combination of things, but lack of nutrition is usually a contributing factor. Not eating right, and then, pushing your body to the limits, draining it instead of fueling it. All right, now we're going to pull from the Echoes of the Soul. Last time we got Crimson Resolve. We got the Veiled Watcher on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Going back to this Escape card, also being honest with yourself about where you're at in your life. If you're feeling like you need to escape from it all, remembering that you are the one that built that life and it was not built in a day, which means it's not going to be corrected in a day. Don't walk out on people, especially children, just because you feel like you can't handle it. Keep going. We saw the ask for help card. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Take a risk. Somebody may need new shoes. And in the last video, we talked about being blessings. Being a blessing to someone else. Echoes of Solitude. Rest energy as well. She's running a bath in this picture, taking a spiritual bath. I think that came up in the last video as well. Look how nice that bathroom looks. Man, I would love to have a bathtub like that right now. I only have a stand-up shower. I don't have a bathtub. Boy, I tell you what, That is something that when I don't have it, I miss it, is a bathtub. Okay, number 32. Key themes: reflection, release, emotional cleansing, renewal, letting go, and personal growth. Message: in the stillness of solitude, echoes of the past rise to the surface, asking to be heard and released. These moments of quiet reflection hold the key to emotional cleansing and renewal. Echoes of solitude remind you that letting go is an act of strength, creating space for new energy and growth. Trust that in releasing what no longer serves you, align with your true self and open the door to transformation. Guidance: this card calls you to embrace moments of solitude as a time for reflection and release. Old emotions, memories, or patterns may resurface now, asking for your attention. Acknowledge them without judgment and then let them go with love and gratitude for the lessons they've taught you. Echoes of Solitude encourages you to see this process as an opportunity for emotional cleansing and renewal. In creating space within yourself, you invite growth, clarity, and deeper alignment with your path. The affirmation: I release what no longer serves me, creating space for renewal, clarity, and growth. In solitude, I find strength and truth. Actionable insight: take a quiet moment today to reflect on what you're ready to let go of. Whether it's an old emotion, belief, or habit, write it down on a piece of paper and then symbolically release it by tearing it up, burning it safely, or discarding it. Feel the lightness that comes with this act of release and focus on the possibilities that this new space invites into your life. Reflection: echoes of solitude remind you that in stillness, you uncover truths and gain the clarity needed for emotional cleansing. By letting go of what no longer serves, you allow yourself to align with your highest potential and embrace renewal. What echoes are calling to you in solitude? How will you honor and release them to make space for your growth? So, once again, talking about things from the past, letting go. Definitely more on an emotional aspect, as which is what we've been talking about. It tends to come in waves, like I said before. You know, we'll deal with some stuff, then we rest for a little while, then we come back and we deal with some more stuff. You know, we take play breaks. All right, intermission. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Happy Saturday. I don't really know what's on my agenda today. I know I have to go do laundry today. But other than that, I haven't really checked the weather yet, so I don't know what it's going to be like. We may end up going for another ride today, but I don't know. I think I'm going to have to kind of work them into it slowly because Darling got sick on the ride yesterday. So I think it happened. There was one area where I had to get off the back road and get on the main road, and I was having to go like 55, 60 miles an hour. I think that's when it happened. Because normally when they're in the car with me, if I can help it, I don't drive that fast. So they're not really used to that at all. All right, now we'll pull from the Nature Seasons Oracle. Last time we got ocean and full moon, depth and subconscious, and illumination and completion. We got passion and energy falling off the top of the deck as I open the box. Healing and release, sorrow on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Rise from the ashes, like a phoenix rising. I realize that's easier said than done, but you know, when it came up in a couple videos ago, we saw this one about taking the baby steps, setting those smaller goals to accomplish a bigger goal. That helps keep us motivated, and it helps us keep going. Angel number 938, keep going, don't give up. Be brave. Be chill. Go with the flow. I cannot change which way the river bends, so I might as well strap in and enjoy this strange little boat ride. I'm braver than I think. I don't have to suddenly slay every dragon in town, but I can definitely start the day off by looking one in the eye and giving it a slow motion nod. Like, I see you. But not today. We're not doing that today. And just have that attitude every day. All right. Nature Seasons Oracle. Optimism and happiness. Wow, what was I just saying? Look at that. On the bottom of the deck, illumination and completion, full moon energy. It is the full moon. And then we got purity and tranquility, snowflakes on the top of the deck. Nice. Optimism and happiness, joy. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Joy is the energy of optimism, reminding you that every moment of life is worth celebrating. Today, carry a light heart and look for the little things that bring you happiness and fulfillment. Let joy fill your life and spread it to those around you. Illumination and completion, full moon. Reflect on your achievements and give thanks for the growth and effort that brought you here. You may experience emotional release. This is a time to celebrate your results and let go of the past. Purity and tranquility, snowflakes. The purity and tranquility of snowflakes bring inner peace. Today is a time to slow down and embrace the quiet calm. Like a snowflake, gently fall into serenity and enjoy the stillness, restoring your inner balance. Rest and rise. Enjoy the little moments. Most definitely. Enjoy the beauty of the season. Each season has its own sense of beauty. Snow is beautiful when it's in its pure form. Look at that. That looks like a beautiful walk to take. I don't know if it's wise hanging torches in trees, but you know. I'm sure they had a way of doing it back then to where the trees didn't catch on fire. All right. Now we'll pull from the Forest Spirit Oracle. Last time we got Pink Fairy, Dragon, Bluebird, and Crystal. Communicate, good news, guardian, and enchanted. We got confidence. That's where we saw it last time. I knew we saw confidence last time, and it's already come up today as well. Your inner strength, your inner confidence, letting it shine from the inside out. Okay. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. As I think of that song every time I see that card. All right, Forest Spirit Oracle. Look at that perspective, dragonfly. We got spider on the bottom of the deck, dreamweaver, daydream believer. And look at that, dragonfly elf. Wow, double dragonfly energy. What? We talked about dragonflies not long ago. Remember I told you I saw that video online where it was talking about dragonflies and how they are aggressive predators in the wild? I mean, obviously not to us, but to other insects, they are aggressive predators. We got tiger on the bottom of the deck, brave and confident. Look at that. I love the imagery on these cards. Chameleon, many colors. Blend in or stand out as the situation requires to fit the needs of the moment. So being flexible, going with the flow, embracing your many colors. True Colors by Cyndi Lauper. That's a good song. Brave and confident. Make yourself stronger. Courage and confidence enable you to maintain your status and dignity in various situations. Look at that. Fish. Positive. Maintain your freedom and independence. Good luck will slowly approach you goods. That's what it says. You goods. Okay. How interesting that we got double dragonfly. Creativity, color, power, energy, and vibration allow inspiration to flow into your life. And then perspective, be flexible and willing to change direction if needed to get a broader view of things. Being able to see things from a different perspective. We talked about that at the very beginning of the video. And then spider, dreamweaver, practice the powerful art of attraction to draw in and capture opportunities. I wish I could pull up Dragonfly, but you're on my phone, so I can't do that. And dragonflies start out in the water. And you also tend to see a lot of dragonflies around water. I remember when I was a kid for sure, but even as an adult, being swimming and a dragonfly would come and start, swarming around your head, and you have to dive underwater, and sometimes multiple times before they go away. So there's something about that. The aggressive energy of a dragonfly. Being aggressive about your dreams, about your goals, your aspirations. Not backing down from what you truly want or, what you truly believe. That can be hard to do sometimes. Especially if you got people coming against you, or, if you're dealing with some kind of resistance, either internally or externally. All right, now we'll pull from the animal allies. Last time we got woodpecker. We got ostrich on the bottom of the deck. Don't bury your head in the sand. You know, don't retreat, rest, you know, gather your thoughts and yourself and inspiration. But you know, don't bury your head in the sand. Don't get stuck there. Once again, finding the balance. You know, push yourself, yes, but don't push yourself too hard. Pace yourself. There you go. Pace yourself, don't push yourself. All right, animal allies. Whoa. That's too many, but we'll acknowledge them. Raven, albatross, goldfinch, and parakeet. We've seen that raven energy quite a bit here lately in multiple decks. I'm trying to find out what song this is on the radio. Duck, cardinal, flicker, and owl. Those could all be, you know, different birds that you connect with. There we go. Bluebird. Nice. Bluebird has been strong energy lately. Remember I told you about the bluebirds in my backyard in the tree? There had to have been at least 20 of them. Maybe more, but at least 20. I counted 12 before they started flying around. Bluebird on my shoulder, that's from an old animated movie. You can pull it up on YouTube. I think this is Post Malone, Runaway. All right, Bluebird superpowers. Whimsical, bringer of happiness, harmony, positivity, renewal, inspiring others, connection to higher self, and tranquility. Bluebird wisdom. Hope is eternal. It never gives up on you. Call on Bluebird when you need motivation to continue anything that feels daunting to you in the moment. When Bluebird appears, trust that a second wind is on the way. Happiness is seeking you out. Where can you cultivate more positive emotions and experiences? Bluebird wants you to know life can be joyful. You are joy personified. Or you can be if you're willing to tap into the resources within. If you want to receive more joy, try giving more joy and watch it come back to you. Very much lining up with the playfulness, the Mary Poppins from the Affirmators deck. Finding the joy in the little moments in life. All right. Let's pull a gemstone mineral card. We haven't done that the last few times. Last time we got love, compassion, and serenity. Or sincerity, sorry. Once again, that love energy. Explore the universe of gems and minerals. We got green jade on the top as we're getting started. Jasper. Stability, wholeness, and perseverance. Jasper's warm reddish brown color comes from the iron present in this stone. So something about iron, maybe needing to get more iron in your diet. We did talk about nutrition earlier. Anemia is caused by an iron deficiency, but there's other health issues that can be caused by not getting enough iron. I actually take an iron supplement. If you'll give me just a second, I'll show you what I take. It's sea kelp iron. I get mine online. The company is CARLYLE, non-GMO and gluten-free. It's a traditional herb. Sea kelp. Okay. Oh, sorry. I do that a lot. My bad. Okay, now we'll pull from the Archangel Fire Oracle. Last time we got Curibel. He looks like a cherubim. He's got the four heads. We got Zachariel on the bottom of the deck. Peacock energy as we're getting started. All right. Archangel Fire Oracle. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. Melchizedek. Number 40. Melchizedek. And then Jehodiel, number 32. Strong magician energy from this card. Ascension. The president of the universe. He represents the lightning consciousness of our cosmos. And so he's a bit like the grandfather of the archangels, keeper of the ascension pathway. He acts as the bridge between heaven and earth. This message comes with confirmation that you have now been initiated into the order of Melchizedek, an etheric lineage of ancient souls who are returning to earth to assist with the ascension. I am with you always. And we'll see what Jehodiel's. Leadership and endeavor. I am assisting you with your spiritual endeavor. You are a natural leader. Stay true to your integrity. stay true to who you are. And if you're not familiar with it, there are certain symptoms, physical symptoms that you can experience when you're going through an ascension. You can Google that. I'm not even going to try to list all of them. But it is a thing, ascension sickness. That could be another reason to rest. All right, now we'll pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Last time we got recovery, being in a state of recovery. We got completion on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Don't try to numb your emotions with alcohol. Let those emotions and those feelings be felt. Release them. Numbing it out just delays the inevitable. You're going to have to confront them and deal with them eventually. All right, Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Service and joy. Solar plexus and sacral chakra energy. Service. Honey Adams, the energy here is one of manifesting through being of service. This card indicates a steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. It can also bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. Bam! What? Let me read that again. The energy here is one of manifesting through being of service. This card indicates a steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. It can also bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. And then joy, dancing daisy. This vibrational energy is walking on air. A pure essence of joy comes through detachment. Daisy yellow brings joy but does not experience it. Its purpose is to radiate what is inside. This powerful energy moves your projects forward. It is to detach, to be creative, but will draw in assistance necessary to further your goals. Being a light, lighting the way for others, coming miracles, integrity, gifts, rewards. Do you let someone in or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. Bitter and sweet, baby. The bitter and the sweet. Vanilla Sky. If you've not seen that movie, that is a good movie. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise, but Vanilla Sky is a very good movie. And another one of his that's a good one that tells us a lot without telling us a lot is Minority Report. That's free on YouTube Movies right now, actually. All right, now we're going to pull from the Wandering Heart Oracle. Last time we got Alchemy. We got Blessings in Disguise on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Sacrifice on the split. Or on the cut. I don't know why I said split. The sacrifice may be having to split something up. or having to split up with someone, you know, letting go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Wandering Heart Oracle. Neglect. Number 20. This is a little girl playing with a dollhouse, but she's by herself, wearing a purple dress. The doll that she's playing with looks like her, and there are no other dolls in the dollhouse. So something about being alone, feeling neglected. Don't allow bitterness to overcome you. Wow, once again, talking about the bitterness. Here you feel abandoned. You are doubtful of your significance. You've lost track of your everyday pursuits due to the funk you are in. It feels as if everyone's life is moving at a steady upward pace and you aren't being considered or included. Make amends with your inner child. Remember who she is and apologize for not considering her feelings more often. Comprehend that every feeling has a root and every root must be discovered for total wellness. You take the necessary steps to improve your overall health. What was I talking about earlier? It's layers, man. Like, the healing doesn't happen all at once. We have to address different areas, different wounds, different traumas. Feeling neglected, feeling forgotten, feeling alone. We're not meant to do this alone. All right, now we'll pull from the Animal Spirit Oracle. Last time we saw hummingbird, earthworm, and hyena. Being alone to the point to where you neglect your need to socialize, like getting so comfortable with the idea of being alone that you neglect the fact that we do need to socialize. We are social animals. One more. We got golden egg and fish on the cut as we're getting started. Firefly and octopus. Whoa. We see owl on the bottom of the deck. That was like the middle of the deck that slid out. And rabbit on the top of the deck. Octopus and firefly. Octopus is water energy. We talked about water energy earlier with the elf spirit over here and the dragonfly spirit. Octopus, reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. When in balance, interested, engaged, and intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, and lacks courage. to bring into balance space to oneself. And then we've got Firefly, which is air energy. Inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. When in balance, writes, creates, and brainstorms. When out of balance, burnout and feels dull. To bring into balance, write a poem or draw. Finding the balance. All right, now we're going to pull from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. Last time we got number 31, Cannabis Detachment. We got Rose, number 12, Love on the bottom of the deck. We actually saw that last time. It came out backing Cannabis. And then you got Milk Thistle, 23, Peaceful Warrior on the top of the deck. Oh, I guess it would help if I actually put it back in there. All right. Herbal Astrology Oracle. Amanita, Amanita, conduit, number 42. It's a mushroom. You got skull cap, number 47, stillness on the bottom of the deck. And 21, nettle, action on the top of the deck. So maybe some confliction between whether to sit still or to take action. Maybe a decision needs to be made, or will need to be made, whether to sit still or take action. All right, conduit, channel, bringer of realities, connection to higher power, celebration, coming home, family, and awakening. Astrological ruler, Neptune, Pluto, and Mercury on page 155. Guidance. I'm not going to read the whole thing today. My throat's starting to hurt. So I'm just going to read the guidance part. Your channel is open. Earth spirits celebrate you as you come back home. You feel one with nature and all her offspring, your extended family. You can clearly see through the veil, and your gift of profound insight is now at hand. You are here to be a bridge for the children of the earth, a conduit for safety and healing energy for the newer generations. Embody the medicine of children. Laugh, sing, and play, spreading joy in the world regardless of your age. Going all the way back to the playfulness. If you feel disconnected, breathe. Focus on releasing old breath by emptying your lungs with long exhales. Explore by connecting to nature's cycles and co-create with your chosen family to regain a sense of belonging. Beautiful. All right, now we'll pull from the Mary Magdalene and we'll be done for the day. I just need some time to give you more in our relationship. My love for you is unconditional. Must be an adrenaline rush because you set my heart on fire. Or maybe we haven't finished our journey yet in the past life and now we're here together again. Sorry for breaking your trust. From time to time, we will have a happy ending if you and me both empathize and love for our true selves. I'm choosing myself. I wish you could put yourself in my shoes to understand how I feel. I miss the old you. I miss us. I would take back all the hurtful things I said to you. We're not over yet. There's still something between us. Is that my negativity keeping me away from you? That's what we got from the new Love Oracle. All right, now we'll pull from Mary Magdalene. Last time we got angels. I have never been alone. Your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, even if you do not acknowledge them, they are there. We got remembering, I know who I am on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. All right, Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? True love. Hush your mouth. Look at that. True love. True love. Love. Love is in the air, apparently. All right. True love. All exists through love. I don't have this card numbered, so it's probably going to take me a minute. Give me a minute. Page 84. It's important to know that love laced with lack and ego is nothing ever to be ashamed of. Repeat this statement several times if needed. The whole point of being here is to be fully human. This means we will fall in love with the wrong people. This means we will be too terrified to love the right people. We will do all the wrong things, and this is what's meant to happen. It's brave to break your heart wide open. It's brave to dare to love. It's only in our messy, mixed up, and widely imperfect attempts at loving that we can practice expanding our capacity to love. We try and fail and try again to love and be loved. And in that effort, over time and with mercy, we begin to let love reach within us where it has never been before. We begin to forgive ourselves and others for things we had judged unforgivable. We begin to see that love is an energetic exchange, a flow, and that miraculously, somehow, the more we give, the more we receive. And we begin to see that this may be the whole point of being here. Feeling all the possible love we could feel, and without any control or contriving, we give it all away. Knowing as we do, trusting even, that this inner source of love that we are giving from is actually inexhaustible. The Gospel of Philip says, quote, "The companion of the Son is Miriam of Magdala. The teacher loved her more than all the disciples. He often kissed her on the mouth." End quote. If we take this scripture to heart, we realize that Mary and Christ were spiritual partners, companions. We realize that the love between them was meant to be a teaching on the power and possibility of true human love. The Gospel of Philip also says, quote, "Love refuses nothing and takes nothing. It is the highest and vastest freedom. All exists through love." End quote. This is the form of love I believe Christ and Mary shared. A love that is more than love. A love that is the highest and vastest freedom. A love that makes all things possible. The Soul Voice Meditation. Who in my life can I give love to in this moment? And of course, the most important person is yourself. But once you fill your cup, Let it overflow so that others may drink from it as well. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.